your dreams don't matter. That's what he said to me, or that's what I heard. I was 16 years old, sitting at the dinner table, talking to my parents about going to school, going to college. My dad said to me, well, Karrie, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, I'm already grown up. What are you talking about? I'm 16. Right? Every 16-year-old thinks they're grown up at that point. We've got everything all figured out. And I told him, I said, Dad, since I was a little girl, all I ever wanted to do was make an impact in this world. And he said, well, what does that look like? I said, I really don't know. But I know that there's something inside of me that wants other people to feel good about themselves. And I love art. I love to be creative, and I love to draw, and I love to paint. And my dad looked at me, and out of love and protection, he said to me, you know, Karrie, you're probably not going to make a lot of money doing that. But what I heard him say was, your dream doesn't matter. So I started listening to him. He was a very successful sales and marketing executive. And he said, and I asked him, Dad, what do you think I should do? And he said, well, honey, you know, you're really pretty. You should probably go into sales and marketing. So I ended up going to school for sales and marketing. 2 years in, didn't like it, so I left. And then I asked him, Dad, what do I do now? And he said, Karrie, go into sales and marketing. So I got my first job in sales and marketing, listening to the opinion and approval of my dad telling me what I should be doing. Well, that started a 25-year career of being in corporate America that absolutely shed me of who I really am. I bounced around quite a bit. I was feeling especially like a square peg in a round hole, if anyone has ever felt that way before. I had lots of different opportunities that came at me that sounded good, and when they did come, I said, well, what do you think I should do? What is your opinion on where I should go? And my unbecoming continued to happen. There was a point when I had actually been asked by a friend of mine to join her in her staffing agency. From the outside, I had success, right? The world speak was, yeah, Karrie's doing a good job. She's, has some upward mobility. She's doing all the things. And so she invited me to come and work with her at her staffing agency. And she offered that there was an opportunity to buy her out because she was getting ready to retire. And I thought, wow, I feel so good about myself for someone asking me to do that. And so my husband and I talked about it. I got his opinion and approval. I got my business mentor's opinion and approval. I got the world to tell me that this was a good thing to do. And so I jumped in. And I worked with her for about 6 months, and then she said, Karrie, I would really love it if you thought about investing so that I could retire. And I followed the shiny, bouncy ball. There was a lot of money to be made in staffing. And my husband and I talked it over, and we decided to invest. Once again, looking for the opinion and approval of other people. The moment that we invested our entire life savings into this business, everything changed. She became, can I say this on stage, a bitch. She now put me under a microscope, wanted me to be exactly like her, to not do anything that was authentically me. There was an opportunity at one point where I had put to work a woman who I actually befriended. She came into the office. She was just so endearing. I loved her. We became friends, and I worked really hard to find her a position. And she ended up working for a company that we worked with. She had an opportunity to actually develop herself in this business. And I found myself one day sitting in front of a very large mahogany table. One side was me, my business partner, and our lawyer. The other side was her and her lawyer. And she was suing us for workman's comp. Put yourself in my shoes for a moment there. Imagine how you would have felt after working so hard to find her this position. I felt betrayed. I decided that day that I was going to walk away from the business that I invested our entire life savings. I was going to finally go after my dream. But I had no idea what that was. I had unbecome me. So I went on my path of finding who I really am, of understanding this incredible diamond that just needed a little polishing every once in a while. There's a diamond inside of each and every one of you. But the world has told you who you should be, how you should act, what you should say, how you should dress, how you should wear your hair. I invite you to take out the polishing rag, dust off that beautiful diamond, and know that you are so radiant. I stepped into my new life, not looking back, not knowing if my husband was going to divorce me because we had invested our entire life savings in this business. Luckily, we're still together. But I have never looked back. My life is radiant, full of joy. I share with my clients how to become the very best version of who they are. I'm living my absolute dream life. But I got to go through all of that to get where I am today. So if you're in the cocoon of life, just know the butterfly is on the other side. Thank you.